Hey y'all, the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo is back. And if you've never been, let me tell you, it's not just a rodeo, it's an experience. From insane food creations to all the rodeo action and a whole city coming together. This is the event of the year in Houston. Today we're diving into the history, what makes this event so iconic, and of course a foodie tour you won't want to miss. The Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo isn't just all about bull riding and fried food. This event is huge. We're talking 3 weeks of concerts, tons of competitions, a massive carnival with so many games and rides, and enough wild food creations to make your cardiologist just a little nervous.
Paging Dr. Lund, line 3.
Last year, the rodeo attracted a total of 2,553,185 visitors over its 23-day run, making it the highest overall attendance since 2017. And if you're wondering where all those thousands of rodeo goers park, fun fact, what used to be AstroWorld is now part of the rodeo overflow parking. There's even an AstroWorld gate sign marking one of the lots, a small nod to the Houston icon that once stood here. But beyond the lights, the rides, and the big name performances, there's a deeper story. This rodeo started in 1931 with one goal: support Texas youth. Today it's the world's largest rodeo and has given out over $575 million in scholarships. And before the main event even kicks off, Houston turns into a smoke-filled paradise with the World Championship Barbecue Contest. Over 250 teams battle it out for the best brisket, ribs, and sausage. But the food doesn't stop there. Every year the Gold Buckle Foodie Award highlights the wildest, most delicious eats at the rodeo, and I made it my mission to track them down. But before we get into it, I want to share some tips for surviving your first rodeo. We parked in the yellow lot, and with your $25 admission comes a free trolley ride that will take you straight to the gate. And they're constantly running. We never had to wait more than 5 minutes. You could also take a pedicab, although that is not included. I would advise driving your vehicle or carpooling with friends. The Uber process is an absolute nightmare. There's only one parking lot with one pickup lane, so it takes eternity to get picked up and dropped off. And those surcharges can get pretty crazy. Last year, people got pretty creative in finding ways to avoid the traffic. This calf roper saddled up after realizing he would miss his competition sitting in traffic. There was a huge safety concern last year with people posing as Uber drivers inside the rodeo as concerts were letting out and demanding payment up front for rides. If someone approaches you about a ride that you did not request through an app, do not interact with them. Traffic is also atrocious, so budget at least a 1-hour commute depending on where you're coming from. Admittedly, I have previously parked at a friend's apartment in the Rice area, walked to the light rail, and rode it all the way down to the rodeo gate. Again, I do not recommend this unless you are an inebriated broke college student or homeless and looking for a place to sleep. Until Houston can get those sorted out, I can't recommend anything else. I highly recommend downloading the Houston Rodeo app. It has so many time-saving features like purchasing tickets for featured entertainers, the World's Championship Barbecue Competition, although I do need to mention this is separate from the private cook-off tents. You would have to purchase those directly from the barbecue teams. You can also purchase tickets to the fairgrounds. Again, this doesn't grant you access to the rodeo or the concert. Those need to be purchased separately. But let's say you're looking for something pretty specific. Let's say the closest bathroom. The map will show you all of that. It even helped us navigate to each booth on the Gold Buckle Foodie Tour. Once you open the map, click the Tours tab just to the right of the Locations tab. And without further ado, the first stop on this tour is the original mini apple pie for the ultimate apple pie. I thought it was going to be a canned apple filling, so let's get
And you're saying it's not?
shot. It doesn't look like it, no, it's not. Those are usually apple slices. These are diced, which leads me to believe that they actually made the filling themselves. So I have a good bite here of ice cream, apple, and then some of the flaky crust with some cinnamon sugar. That's actually good.
Okay.
I didn't think I was going to like that because I thought it was going to be generic like a McDonald's fried apple pie, but that's actually good. The mini apple pie was a well-deserved win, but we're just getting started. The Waffle Chick is our next stop, and it's just a few steps away. They got second place in the best food on a stick category for the chicken in a waffle on a stick.
You're getting, oh, it's cheese. Or
That's
what
not,
is
that's
that?
chicken.
That's chicken? Oh.
It's weird. No.
Well, I didn't like that it was already like pre-made. Nope.
I kind of want to spit it out.
Oh, okay. Well,
I think it's dry. It's not worth it. Like, it's dry. I'm not impressed with this. I would not get it again.
What is it?
This is a chicken wrapped in a waffle on a stick. There's
what
no
restaurant?
seasoning on the chicken. This is called the Waffle Chicks. I don't know, they won an award or something. This is just sitting underneath a heat lamp, so maybe it would have been better if it was fresh. Maybe I should have asked for it fresh.
I think they were second place.
Well, okay. What was their competition? Because this is not it.
It was the mini apple
Which
pie,
we're going
kind of
to
right
next
next door.
to try this out.
It's the waffle.
Nah.
Nah.
This was just awful. It was a dry, flavorless sponge, and I even tried putting syrup on this thing. This is a big no for me. If you follow along the foodie trail, the next stop is the Pioneer Wagon. But honestly, none of the food looked good here. So instead, we tried out this bonus spot. And if it were up to me, they would have a Gold Buckle Award for the Puerco Machete. A machete is a thin corn quesadilla that is astonishingly long and originates from Mexico City. Because of its unusual size, the tortilla must be homemade and requires a custom-made tortilla press. This was packed with tons of flavor coming from the Al Pastor, and the queso Oaxaca helped glue it all together. The accompanying grilled onion and jalapeno added a nice charred flavor and texture to the mix. But this is a warning to all the güeros out there. That salsa is spicy. No manches, güey. It has great flavor, but it is no joke. The next stop is Paradise Burgers for their Paradise Maple Waffle Burger. To be completely honest, I was still struggling with the chicken in a waffle fiasco, and I couldn't handle another waffle fail. So we tried out these keto nachos instead. That's actually really good.
Okay.
The brisket's very tender. It's kind of cold. These seem like your standard run-of-the-mill, like, came out of bag, cheat your own. It's not like they fried them here. They're just doing something cool with the whole like keto movement. Here's some like melted cheese over here, like cheese sauce.
Okay.
Yeah, this is already soggy and it hasn't like, you know. Despite the nacho toppings being cold and chicharron being soggy, they still had really great flavor. I don't recommend going out of your way to try these, but if you have any dietary restrictions, these are an option. No time to waste, bring on the next dish. Saltgrass Steakhouse won first place in the best new flavor category. Let's see if the chili Mac Attack potato lives up to the hype.
It's actually probably one of the bigger portions
Yeah, it is.
that I've seen.
Ooh, that's a good bite. That's a big bite. Just okay.
Wouldn't get it again?
No.
What does it taste like?
Tastes like some Velveeta cheese on some noodles with Wolf Brand chili.
There's noodles in there?
Yeah, it's mac. It's got mac and cheese in there.
Okay. I kinda
Chili
feel it.
and mac and cheese and the baked potato.
Okay.
Like, it's just okay.
Like Wolf Brand chili?
Yeah, it tastes like Wolf Brand chili. I think if you and a friend are looking for something big enough to split that won't break the bank, at $16 the value is certainly there. But flavor-wise, it's a no for me. Let's keep this tour rolling with fried what? They got second place with the lemon cake bar. This is where you find pretty much everything fried. But here, they're doing things right. They fry food to order. Oh my god.
Is that good?
Look at it, it's all ooey gooey in the middle. Mmm. That is super good. I can't get over the texture on the inside. It's like the cake just like melted. It's super good. The outside's like a perfect pancake batter, so it's like light and fluffy. And then the inside's ooey gooey. If you're in the mood for a delicious fried dessert, I can't recommend this one enough. Let's dig into the next contender, Big Fat Bacon. They won first place for classic fair food with the Big Fat Bacon on a stick, and first place for best dessert with the Bacon Bourbon Caramel Cheesecake on a stick. And you already know I'm trying out both. Finish.
Watch out, you might cut yourself with that
I
thing.
know. Hiya. It's okay. Would I pay $13 for it? No.
Yeah.
I think the $12 one of the Ren Fair is better.
Ooh. It's also a lot
It's
thicker
good.
as the Ren Fair.
I mean, yeah. Like, it tastes like bacon. I can smell that there's maple on it, but I mean, I wouldn't get it again. The bacon caramel cheesecake did not disappoint. It was creamy, chocolatey, tangy, savory, sweet, and salty all in one bite. The bacon on a stick was incredibly thin and shocking when you put it next to the thick bacon crumbles on top of the cheesecake. Pass on the bacon on a stick, but go all in on that cheesecake. Serving up the next bite is corn dog with no name. They won first place in the best food on a stick category with the brunch pops. Is this foodie's gold or just fool's gold? Let's find out together. The outside's good. I didn't get the inside though.
But you got...
Okay.
Really good? Is it the best on the stick? First place winner for best food on a stick?
That is.
Oh.
In no way does this even come close to the best food on a stick. It still had great flavor and was a nice twist on classic fair food. The foodie adventure continues into the carnival portion of the grounds. Here you'll find rides geared more towards the kiddos, but we're here for the Candy Factory. They won first place in the most creative category with the Barbalicious Float. Thank you.
Yeah, no. Right now
Okay.
It's okay.
Look, do you see the whipped cream on the bottom?
That was a first place winner for what,
Yeah.
best drink?
Cane is good.
Don't hunch it.
That's better. You can taste it more. You just got to mix it up first. Mix it. I didn't think I was going to like that. I thought it was going to be overly bubblegum.
Yeah.
It's actually really nice and refreshing, especially since it's so hot. This drink was visually appealing and creative, but it was overly sweet for me. Let me put you on a booth just a few feet away. If you know, you know, and now you do. My mouth is watering. I'm so excited for this. So good. I love it. I'm going to spike it with a strawberry guava or a pineapple topo chico.
All right, let's go find that.
I look forward to this booth every year. They are deliciously consistent. The Topo Chico Oasis isn't far at all from the Michelaguas booth. Now that's strategic. This is a really cool area inside the fairgrounds. There's plenty of seating to enjoy your beverages or grub down on some of the fair food. I went with the exotic pineapple seltzer and spiked my mango agua fresca, but I've also tried it with the strawberry guava seltzer and it was a bit sweeter but just as refreshing. Keep in mind that although the rodeo takes place in March, it's still really hot in Houston, so stay hydrated. The final stop on the Gold Buckle Foodie Tour is in the Adrenaline Junkie section of the fairgrounds. I was way more interested in the food than risking it on a temporary roller coaster. Asian Streetness won second place in the best fried food category for the fried dumplings and shrimp chips, and second place in best new flavor category for the wonton nachos. Did we save the best for last, or will this be another flop on a plate? Make sure you stick around until the end. You won't want to miss this ultimate bonus spot I have for you. All right, the loaded bite here. Ooh, this looks really good.
Bite. Good price. Okay.
Those are good.
Now I gotta try me some.
Yeah. That's good. There's so much meat in there. Look at all that meat filling to like
And what's in it?
breading ratio. It's a dumpling, so it's got pork in it. And that sauce. Oh, there's like a shrimpy flavor to it. Ooh, that is really good medium sized coffee.
Strong?
It's like the perfect amount of sweetness, yeah.
Okay. Who eats a corn dog like that?
It's really good. This was, in fact, the best food I had on this foodie tour. It's pretty hard to believe they got second place to the mini apple pie and second place to that chili mac attack potato. I've been fangirling their Instagram, and it looks like they've got some new additions to the menu this year, which I cannot wait to sink my teeth into. As promised, the ultimate bonus spot is the Champion Wine Garden. I'm not really a wine person, I prefer cocktails, but this is a must visit for the music and vibes alone. They also have the nicest portable restrooms here. And here's a pro tip. If you get a table, you will also have a server who comes and takes your order. You don't have to wait in that line, and it can get pretty long. They also have light bites like salads and charcuterie, but obviously we were full. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I've given you tips on surviving your first rodeo, what to expect from the Gold Buckle Foodie Awards, the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. I even threw in a few bonus spots and honorable mentions. Now I want to hear from you. What foodie spot would get your top prize? Or what are you most excited to try this year? Drop a comment below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.